And when it kind of got cold and there was no
Oh.
more snakes out, we would wade all up and down the creek. We'd go into caves and little
Oh, I used to go to caves too, yeah.
holes and all that kind of stuff and find a bunch of frogs, and we'd get covered head to toe in mud. And we would come home,
Dude.
Mom would get a garden hose out, and she would just spray us down the driveway before we could come inside and take our bath at night.
So when I was about 5 or 6, I would hide my Halloween candy and stash it in a drawer.
Yeah, you can't get anyone stealing it.
That I was eating it without asking her, and so she was like, "Go to your room, Carolyn, because your dad's gonna come spank you because you've been eating your candy." So I went back to my room and just opened the drawer and ate all of the candy in the drawer.
You go, girl.
Come spank me.
Yeah, so my favorite. Oh.
My name's Preston. My favorite childhood memory is when my mom and dad taught me how to ride a bike. At first, I
It's been a while to learn that. I think I was like.
took them off, and then once I learned how to ride a bike on my own, it was the most freeing and exciting feeling ever.
My favorite memory from when I was a kid was on one of my birthdays.
Oh yeah, which one?
My dad took me to the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, and we rode the Space Shot, which is a ride that shoots you like 60 feet in the air. We rode it 50 times in a row. Then I
Crazy.
threw up. After the 50th time, we went and ate 50 oysters from one stools.
Nice. Wish they could hear me. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hey pal, it's been a while. How's it going?
We used to depend on each other. Do you even remember that?
Well, it's been a couple of years, but I'd assume you'd think maybe better of me than that to not remember the past. Just a thought.
Yeah.
We don't share that magic anymore, simply because we got older. That's just how it is. Things die, things wither away. You just gotta accept that sometimes.
We don't need it anymore. But it's not like you can just go back to it again because it's gone now.
Yeah. Just because we don't need it now doesn't mean that we can't look back with happiness at like what made us who we are, but you just gotta accept sometimes that not going back might be for the better, and that's okay.
I know.
If you know, then why do you let this stuff hurt you when you could quite easily deal with it by being blissfully ignorant, getting out more, look out the window, seeing the world. I just don't get why you can't do it.
it hurts when things just don't live up to expectations, but it's just how it is sometimes.
Disappointment is a part of life that you just gotta accept and expect to happen sometimes. I never expect to be shut away in a cupboard for years, not seeing people, not speaking, letting things die out of my control, but that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to be sat here talking to a teddy bear. But that's just how it's gone. And I guess that's okay.
Well, there we have it. You didn't expect this, yet you talk exactly like me now. You have my mannerisms. We're basically one and the same at this point. It's like looking at a younger version of me.
I think it's okay for things to be over, but it's hard to think about like what could have been in the end.
If it's okay, then why do you sit there and talk about it with so much pain in your eyes and your voice when you know full well these things are out of your control? It's okay to be hurting, but it's better to act than just talk about things you know you can't solve.
Sometimes you just can't help but wonder that stuff.
I get it. Honestly, I really, really do get it, okay?
And nothing's so meant to go to plan, but in retrospect, it's always just nice to think about the good moments, even if it feels like they could have been better.
I hate to be the contrarian here, but I gotta say, I don't recall many good moments recently.
You don't always get what you want.
You don't always get what you want. Then what the hell were you getting this whole time? If you don't mind me asking.
And no matter what end up, well,
No matter what ends up happening, but what? Say something with fucking conviction for once in your life. Just say something that you mean.
it's wishful thinking, but sometimes I feel like if we just went back and did it again, then maybe it would be easier to deal with now, but it's never gonna happen. That's just something we've both got to accept. Do you know what I mean?
That's for you to accept and for me to live with.
I don't want to become someone who's defined by things that never happened, but I know that I am, and that's okay.
Well, that's just what it is. You know you should have been here for me during all that time. And now that you're not, you just feel sorry about yourself, and that's why you're talking to me.
There's no point telling away what could have been, or what should have been, or even what's going to happen in the end. Because we can't know that. We know the result, we just don't know how we get there. Why don't we just look back at the positives? Do you remember when I played guitar?
感觉比往上爬的长，因为这边正好有一个山作为背景。
Definitely remember how to play this one. Do you recognise this? Smoking no one? No? Maybe? Possibly? I used to tear this one up? No? Okay, that's kind of tricky. To collect and dust and shit. You can't hear me, can you? You never could.
You okay, Theodore?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Is there anything I can do?
No, I'm good.
Keep going. Keep going. And stop. Now walk forward. Everyone thinks you're really drunk right now. And stop. Now say, I'd like a slice of cheese, please.
I'd like a slice of cheese, please. You want cold with that?
The tights just really big socks. Or a socks just really small tights. If you're in the bottom floor of a bungalow, are you downstairs? Nothing. That's it. You've got nothing to say. Really? I'm just gonna sit here and talk for, I don't know, fucking 30, 40, 50, 60 million minutes and you're not gonna say anything? Oh, okay. Great. Thanks. Fuck you.
Sure.
I figured you were hungry.
Thanks.
I have to let you die. Okay, bud. It's not the same anymore, is it? I know you'll remember me. But sometimes I don't want to remember this. Okay? I know. I don't even know if you're really talking anymore, but since we've met, I've just hated who I've become. It's not your fault. Just, things are always going to get worse. I should never brought you back down. I'm sorry. Every night when I go to sleep, I look up and I see the pain that I've caused in his eyes. I toss and turn from it and eventually pass out around 4. That's my night.
The crazy people are outside again. They walk by each street. No sense of rush. Insanity. Psychopathy. Passing each other by, but nobody gives a fuck. They can't distinguish it. They've got their own shit to deal with. A girl cries in the street for a foreign country in pain. Solemnly, a man will raise his head and look up into the sky. No shelter from the rain. The crazy people see them, but they're scared. They fear the building of a natural connection. Drowning, the crazy people sink in their drinks. Momentary escape. The consequences forever. The torment, the anguish, the cycle simply goes on and on. Such fits of insanity. Clear and utter indifference to the reality of it all. A man passes what he has done. A child will pass from his family's history of mental health. The ones brave enough to finally fall asleep, well, they're more awake than the ones that live. They realise that if you fall asleep, you can't be hurt.
Everything to you. You say you wanna start something new, and it's breaking my heart you're leaving. Baby, I'm grieving, but if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you have a lot of nice things to wear, but then a lot of nice things turn bad out there. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you like a child, girl. You know I've seen a lot of what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two, because I never want to see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl, but if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there, but just remember there's a lot of bad and beware. Beware. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you like a child, girl. Baby, I love you, but if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there, but just remember there's a lot of bad and beware. Well, oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you like a child, girl.
Hello there. I am the one who made this. It was an interesting thing to do. Didn't think it would actually get done, or that I'd even think about doing something in such a short time frame, but here we are. It's finished. Probably an absolute piece of shit, but it's a finished one nonetheless, and that's all you can really ask for. I'm sure right now you're enjoying the footage of myself wandering around a very cramped bedroom, talking to myself for a bit, opening curtains, doing things that people do when they're not talking to themselves, or a teddy bear, or themselves from the void, because essentially right now I'm God, because you're hearing my voice in post-production. So, yeah, I could put this thing at the start and spoil the whole thing for you, but since I'm the creator, I'm a god of this thing, this is my baby. I made it. Just me. Probably a worrying thing for a therapist to see, but something made nonetheless. Hard to torture yourself into one take, but I'm gonna keep trucking along anyway, so if there's any pauses, then they won't be edited out, because I've been working on this thing for quite a while. I mean, making this has been a hard process, I guess you could say, even though it was so quick. There's always kind of the stigma and the fear around making things that don't have millions and millions in budget. 10 years of planning, writing, boarding, scripting, everything that's just on a set list of things that you should be doing. So to actually make something that kind of breaks those rules is pretty freeing, because it's not something I've really participated in a lot so far, and especially not in a long format, I guess you could say, because it's the freeze. But it's quite an endearing process, I must say. Just wanted to round out the last minute or so to say thanks to anyone who watches this, or even thinks about it. Maybe you just skip to the end. Well, thanks anyway. It's it's a weird thing to watch, but maybe it gives you some food for thought, or some kind of idea of anything, really. Because that's all we are, really, just a big old blob collection of thoughts. Some we use, some we don't. It's okay if you didn't want to watch this one, but yeah, just a thought. Didn't quite make the whole 40-minute mark overall, but I think it's a valiant effort in at least trying to reach that, or even pick up the camera in the first place, so I can be happy about that. Bit of a personal message, this one too, which is also enjoyable. It's a nice thing to articulate into any kind of medium, and I think more people should articulate their thoughts and feelings and ideas through anything, so that's about it.